Last year, on the 4th of July, there was a statue of Saint Junipero Serra that was defaced and was removed in Sacramento, California. Now, as I'm sure you remember, there were many riots and crazy things that happened after that throughout the rest of the summer and into the fall. I thought of this morning as I celebrated the feast of Saint Serra and the confusion and misunderstanding so common in our society today. So as we approach the 4th of July, I thought I would give a few words concerning our great country. Agendas aside, we do have a great country and are really blessed in so many ways. As we think of the founding fathers and the values the country was founded on, we certainly think of the Pilgrims and how the first people that came here were and how they eventually formed the United States of America. They were fleeing religious persecution. So it's no wonder that central to our Constitution is the freedom of religion. And oh, how important it is, especially as we would look at other countries that do not share these same freedoms and the suffering that they endure. Nobody likes to be discriminated against. Because religion deals with God and eternal matters, for those who practice religion, it is really more important than government and politics and all these other things. So it is the government's role to help ensure that religious freedom is protected. People like you and me, as well as people like Saint Serra, are good people, and our faith helps us to be good, even better citizens, desirous to help the common good. A quick study of Saint Serra's life tells us that he was all about helping people and doing good works. Our parish and faith life is similar to that. For example, the efforts of St. Vincent de Paul and our school show how we are helping the poor and helping educate our youth for the betterment of our society. So, I think our role in this many times is simply to not give in to the ideologies that try to reshape the truth for us. For instance, with people painting Saint Serra as some criminal. It's just not the case. Another common example for us not to give into would be the misuse of the concept of the separation of church and state. The history of this concept is to move away from the state dictating that everyone should have to follow the state religion, forcing its citizens to all have to believe in that faith, ignoring religious freedom. This was certainly the reality in England at the time when the Pilgrims came over here. The religion was the Anglican religion and everybody had to do that, and if you didn't do that, then they would maybe even kill you. But now I hear people that really corrupt the meaning of this concept. They shift the state's role of protecting religious freedom of its citizens to be a force to drive religion out of people's lives. This to me is quite scary. And I get quite scared at it because I've seen, and as you have witnessed, in other countries like Russia and what continues to happen in China, where these religious freedoms have, been taken over. Imagine, for instance, our forefathers who escaped religious persecution by the English Anglican state, and to fathom the concept of what would they see a new government that they had formed that would actually prevent them from, praying in their schools or following their consciences, as a doctor or professional, and somehow calling this, that the separation of church and states requires that we can't practice our faith. This is so odd. So it might just be helpful the next time you hear someone say separation of church and state, and to think of how it would have sounded to the ears of our country's founders. Would it make sense to them? Would they, have a sense that, we're called to, to actually protect religion and not to kind of destroy it and try to prevent the practice thereof. Anyway, some things to think about as we celebrate the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July. We truly celebrate a great nation, one nation under God. And this reality of being under God makes us stronger. Blessings to you and to your families.